I was walking in the woods when I heard the sounds of chickens clucking. What I thought might be chickens ended up being hundreds of bullfrogs getting ready for mating season. I want to introduce wildlife expert Jane to this episode. I think her insight in wildlife is really useful. So, Jane, without further ado, can you introduce yourself again? Because you've been in my past video too. Let me show these guys a brief reminder of what you have done for this show.
Highly unlikely. These herons don't have the body composition to thrive in cold winters. They don't have much body fat, and they are extremely active, which means they burn a lot of calories.
So that was Jane, and she's going to help us figure out the difference between the bullfrog and the wood frog. Both are common in New Jersey, but the wood frog is actually popping up first. It has something to do with how they hibernate over the winter. So let's start going over the bullfrog first, and then we'll go into the wood frog.
The American bullfrog hibernates underwater and is found at the bottom of ponds and lakes in the wintertime. They don't come out of hibernation till April or May, when water temperatures rise up and ice is thawed out. Unlike the wood frogs of New Jersey, the American bullfrog can easily freeze to death if it does not find shelter underwater in temperatures above freezing. I will let you talk about the wood frog.
One of the earliest amphibians in New Jersey to thaw out are the wood frogs. They start hibernating from October until February or March. My experience with frogs is extremely limited, aside from dissecting a few in my youth. When I reached the chicken sounds, I noticed small pairs of eyes looking at me. They were all over the place in the water. These were male wood frogs that were making quite the racket. Some amazing facts about wood frogs is that they hibernate near the surface, often under leaves or logs. Most frogs hibernate underwater, below the surface, below the frozen ice. Wood frogs are like frozen popsicles. 60% to 70% of their body fluids can turn to ice. Their heartbeat is not detectable versus the regular frog, such as the bullfrog. As wood frogs hibernate close to the surface, they can wake up earlier than other frogs that hibernate deep under frozen ponds. These guys have the advantage of being at surface level, because of ice being in their way. One of the more impressive characteristics of the wood frog is its ability to generate massive amounts of glucose in its bloodstream. This glucose acts like antifreeze and keeps vital internal organs from freezing and, exploding basically. So to wrap things up, the wood frog hibernates above ground, like on surface level, whereas the bullfrog hibernates underwater, deep underwater, under a pond or lake, where they can keep their body temperature above freezing, whereas the wood frog can go in temperatures as low as 18 degrees Fahrenheit. Their bodies can support that type of coldness. So those are the two differences, and that's why the wood frog will wake up from hibernation earlier than the bullfrog. The bullfrog's internal systems are waiting basically for the water temperature to get warm enough for them to wake up, whereas the wood frog, being that they're on the surface, that takes a lot less time.